This is the voice of the Report of the Week, signing on. Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone listening and watching. This is VORW, the voice of the Report of the Week. I'm your host, the Report of the Week, and this is my voice, VORW, which means the voice of the Report of the Week. I'm your host. Thank you for tuning in. So, ladies and gentlemen, here we are. It has been 2 weeks since the last VORW 100. Now it's VORW 101, beginning the journey to VORW 200, which we'll get there eventually. In due time we will. We're beginning the journey to 200 VORWs now, one show at a time. And, well, here we are, folks. Here we are. It's been a little bit of time since VORW. We'll talk about many things in this show. Hope you enjoy it. But I felt it's time for another VORW, a long overdue one. And here we are. It's late September 2015. I think it's the 29th. It's a Monday. I think it's Monday the 29th. I'm pretty sure. Maybe Monday the 28th. It's either the 28th or the 29th. I'm not looking at a calendar right now. One of those 2 days. It's Monday, that's all I know. So if the 28th or 29th is a Monday, that's the day it is. It's a little bit after 3 p.m. I've been here all day, but I just now decided to kind of get moving and record a VORW for you all. So that's where it's at. So I hope you're having a good week so far, a good Monday at least. You know, Mondays are always, for most, usually the worst. You've had a good weekend, or a bad weekend, but it's a break from work. You know, break from having to drag yourself to the office every day, or to the restaurant, or to the university, or to the middle school. If you're a middle schooler, don't recommend you listen to these. I always try to make VORW at least. The main audience of VORW isn't supposed to be a 13-year-old individual, but if you're 13 and you get the show, well, you feel free to listen. But anyways, here we are. This is VORW, the voice report of the week. Mondays can always be rough, but I hope you had a good one. And if it wasn't too good, there's always Tuesday, and Wednesday, and Thursday, and then there's Friday. Then you get another break. So, keep hanging in there. Time goes by, and it'll get better. It will. In today's show, we'll be talking about a few things. We'll be talking about the channel. We're going to be talking about the public reviews, some ideas, what it was like to film in public. Something I said I would never do, but I did. And we'll be talking about, VORW schedules, anything else that comes to mind. We might get a little philosophical, might just start talking about time and the progression thereof, because it's something I was thinking of. And then, of course, we'll have our fan favorite mailbag program, where we'll open up the mailbag, read and respond to any letters that we do receive. So thank you. Thank you again for tuning in. So, I stand here in the basement. That's where I am now. I'm in the basement, just trying to be courteous to everyone else, really. Some of the folks are in today, and they're doing some work. I don't really want to. Number one, I don't want to disturb them with what they're doing, and number two, it's also kind of a distraction for me. I kind of like my peace and quiet. I don't want to feel like I'm intruding on anything or I'm being intruded upon when I record these VORWs, so, that's me. That's just me. So, yes, it's been 2 weeks, but here I am in the basement. A little gloomy in here, but I kind of like it that way. It's 80 outside, 72 down here. Kind of cooler. I got one of the lights on, otherwise it's all dark down here, so I kind of like that. Just got some daylight coming in from the high up windows. But I like it like that. It is. It's kind of almost in a sense, this half light, one would call it. It's not sunshine outside either. It's just cloudy skies. This half light, in a way, I find it comforting almost. So I like it like that. I do. Anyways, review, bro. It's been 2 weeks, brother. How's it going? Cuz, as some might say to inquire as to how I am doing. Well, I'm doing fine, thank you. Hope you're doing well also. Things have been going with the channel. We've been doing stuff, and things have certainly been going with the channel for sure. So we'll be talking about that. Otherwise, I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good. I was thinking earlier today about time. Maybe I'll talk about that first because that's kind of fresh in my mind, and then we'll talk about the channel. But no, otherwise I'm doing all right. Doing all right. Just doing my thing. Day in and day out. Listening to shortwave. Want to get some more reception reports out to the stations. I was listening to Radio Sultanate of Oman this morning. I listened to their English service from around 10 to 11. They played a good mix of Western music. They played a lot of that. And this weekend, past, listened to a station from Sweden called Radio Revival Sweden. They kind of like they broker their airtime. So I have to send that report out to them. And I want to try to write a report to the BBC, to one of their transmitting sites. They said they don't give anything out, but it's worth a shot, So that's my agenda, pretty much, Kind of slowed down a little bit, but we're trying to pick the pace up again. Kind of just waiting on another binder to get all the shortwave stuff that I get kind of squeezed into. Got some good stuff from the Voice of Turkey. Got a QSL card, my coaster, and a little fancy bookmark. It's honestly the nicest bookmark I've ever gotten. It has like a little tassel at the end. I think that's quite interesting, to be honest. So that's all I got going. Really, not too much. No new suit or sartorial acquisitions. Nothing new there. So I was thinking about time. Okay, I was walking down these basement steps just a moment ago, and I was thinking about time. Because an individual on Reddit, familiar face to me, he writes, pretty often, mentioned that it was 2 weeks since I last recorded a VORW show. And I thought to myself, wow, at least 2 weeks. I thought, my God, it's been 2 weeks? Where has the time gone? Where's the time gone? 2 weeks. Doesn't feel like 2 weeks. Feels maybe like, maybe 2 days, if even. And that began getting me thinking about time a little philosophically. I was just thinking about how fast time has been progressing as of late. It doesn't slow down. You can say, well, I know people complain about time and how fast it seems to go by, But 24 hours is 24 hours. It's always been the same exact period of time every time. Always been 24 hours. There's always been 60 minutes to an hour. 60 seconds to a minute. Always been 24 hours to a day. Approximately 30 days in a month. With the exception of sometimes the leap day and those months with 31 days. We've been 12 months to a year, 10 years to a decade, 10 decades to a century. You could just go on and on and on. Time is time. It always is the same amount of time. There's no hour with 75 minutes. And there's no hour with just 22 minutes. Every hour always has 60 minutes. Of course, observing standard time rules. You can always make your own clock and your own calendar, and you can have an hour with however long you want it to be. But what is typically accepted in regards of time is that time is just what it is. It doesn't change. But what does change is the observation of time, how we look at it, our understanding of it, how we feel with time. That changes with time. You might think back to when you were a kid. I don't really like the word kid. When you were a child, perhaps. Thinking back to the elementary school years, the middle school years, maybe for some even the high school years. And you look back at those days. You think back. You recollect. And it may have seemed to you back then that those days never ended. That those days just dragged on and on and on. You know? Might have seemed that way. Maybe not to everyone, but I'm sure a few of you can relate. You might have had those experiences in class, in school. Might have how it was, how it used to be. Had to be stuck in class with a teacher you didn't like. Or perhaps go to a club or a camp that you didn't particularly enjoy. And time seemed to drag on and on and on. Right? A year seemed to just go on forever. And of course it's been proven that time seemed much longer back when you were a child because you didn't have much to base it off of, right? You were 7 years old. 1 year is 1/7 of your entire life. You know? Seemed to be a much longer period of time because in retrospect to your life, it really was. You know? To your lifespan here. But time was always processed by younger human beings as being much longer seeming than it actually was. But as we all age, the opposite begins to happen, and time begins to go quicker and quicker and quicker. And the years start going by and by. Start going faster and faster. Graduate high school. Move to the workforce or go into college. Get out of there. Go to a job. Get fired from that job. Go to another. Start getting older. Graying hair. Losing hair. Retire. And then comes death. And time doesn't slow down. Only speeds up. Only seems that way sometimes. And I was thinking of that because kind of looking at the VORWs I recorded from this year alone, and I was thinking back. And as I stand in this basement here, I think, well, I remember recording that year in review VORW, standing right here in this room, leaning against this very counter, looking to my right, recording this year in review VORW, talking about the year 2014 and all the doings of that year. Well, I look at the calendar, almost October, and before you know it, I'll be doing a year in review VORW for 2015. And I remember that so vividly. That seems as though we're only but a week ago, perhaps. I remember filming on New Year's that pizza, what I wore that day. I mean, I remember these things so incredibly vividly, as though they happened but a few days ago. When in reality now, every day brings it closer to a year. A whole year. And, don't get me started when I think back to 2014. I think of events that happened then. I think about when I was in Hawaii. Think about all the encounters I had in that year. I think about 2013, 2012, 2011. Almost 5 years ago now, I started this channel. And to me, that may only seem as though it were just a few months' time. It speeds up, my friends. It speeds up. I remember taking some very special night walks in early July. And now I think, my God, that's almost 3 months ago. And that seems to me as though it were maybe 3 hours ago. Days go in, days go out. 24 hours to me may seem as though it were just 24 seconds. But time just speeds up. And while the period of time, how long it really is, never changes, our perception of it sure does. And it's just a function of life. It's just how it is. Nothing anyone can do about it. Just how us humans and our minds perceive time. Nothing to do about it. Just life. Just how it is. Just how we are. Human nature. So time's just... It's just a precious thing, really. When you see how fast things pass. How fast time goes. It'll make you open up your eyes when you really realize how fast things go. And you gotta realize... time is there. But your time will not always be. So make the most of what you have while you still can. I'm not a motivational speaker. I'm not someone to even bother listening to. I'm just sharing my thoughts and my beliefs. I'm not into the whole YOLO thing. You only live once, YOLO. That means, YOLO. This is how people interpret the phrase YOLO, which kind of has died out. People interpret the phrase, that means, YOLO, that means let me drink a keg of beer and then slide down the ceiling, or slide down the roof on my head and hope I don't break anything. Doesn't mean doing something stupid, or YOLO, I only live once, let me rob this bank. It's not what it means. It means just make the most of things and try to enjoy life. That's all. So, that's all I have to say, really. Just kind of got into a little lecture about time. Just got to make the most of the time that you have while you can make the most of it. And that's all. Might seem really negative and pessimistic and an existential crisis, right? That's what they call it. But it is the truth. Something I think of. Sometimes I'll get all philosophical and I think about this stuff. So I got to see the philosophical side of Review brought today. And you gotta... that's all. That is all. So... to the individual who mentioned the 2 weeks about the VORW, well, you triggered a philosophical lecture, so thank you for that. Let's see how many minutes we killed here. 20 minutes. Ladies and gentlemen, this is VORW, the voice of the report of the week. If you have any comments regarding the program thus far, message me on YouTube or email me at repweekinterview1@gmail.com. That's repweekinterview1, the number 1, @gmail.com. No spaces there. Or message me, or email me, I should say, On the other address, vorwinfo@gmail.com. That's vorwinfo@gmail.com. One word, that is. More to follow. So, we got a little philosophical. Perhaps an evergreen topic. Now we're going to talk about the channel a little bit. We are the YouTube channel. Some things have changed. Not significantly, but they've changed. In a way, things are different now than how they were in 2 weeks ago. Most strikingly was the inclusion of 2 new videos, filmed in public, no less. And that's something I thought I'd never be able to do. But it was done. It was done indeed. So, 2 new reviews were filmed in public. 2, yes, that's right. 2, count them, 2 reviews were filmed in public. One was for the Popeyes Bonafide box, and the other was for Chipotle. So, you might have some questions about these reviews. Review bro, why are you doing this? Why couldn't you bring it home? Why do you seem so damn nervous? Why are you filming these? Are there going to be more? Are you going to change up the scenery? Why do you do this? Why do you want to do this in public? Why do you want to go out of your comfort zone and do something like this? Well, we'll take it from the top, ladies and gentlemen. So, here's the deal. I can access a certain number of establishments which I want to review, and still able to just bring them home, review them at the desk. Standard setting, right? There's a number of those which I can easily do. But there's some restaurants I can't do that with. It's either just, usually too far to bring home, too impractical or inconvenient to bring home. It just cannot be done. It just can't be done. Looking out the window here, there's a bird right by the window. Cute little sparrow looking right at me. Hello, sparrows. Anyways. So, for one of those reasons, usually can't be brought home. And I thought, as I said in my initiative about a month or 2 ago, I want to review more popular items, more newer fast food items. I want to review the latest and newest fast food items that I can get my hands on right after they come out. Okay? And that presented some challenges, because I want to stand by my word when I made that point. And it presented to me some challenges. It said, you're going to have to find ways of attaining this food now. And I thought, and I knew where all these places were. I couldn't bring them to me, so I thought, well, if I can't bring the food to me, why don't I bring myself to the food? Why don't I bring the camera to the food, rather than the food bring itself to the camera? And that's exactly what I did. I kind of planned it out. I said, alright, gonna do this, gonna utilize whatever, get myself to the location, pick out from an array of items and establishments which one I want, set myself up with a little mini tripod at the table, and review away. And that's what I did. So I did. I usually try not to, to go when it's too crowded. But we'll do what we gotta do. And it's an efficient means of being able to review things that I've never tried before. So far, I've reviewed 2 chains now, which have never appeared on this channel, the Report of the Week, ever before. And those 2 chains have been Popeyes and Chipotle. And there's going to be more to follow, okay? Expect it, but there's going to be more. The first video that I did, the Popeyes Bonafide Big Box, was kind of like a pilot, okay? I didn't know what people would think of it. I didn't know what I would think of it. I wanted to see that. I wanted to see what the audience would think of it. And overwhelmingly, thanks in part also due to comments being enabled, I realized that it was not a bad display. I was nervous, yeah. Oh yeah, I have anxiety. I don't like going out. I don't like really going outside. Being around all those people. I don't necessarily. But I put myself out there. I was nervous at first. Truth be told, I was. I set up at the table there, the little tripod. And of course, I was nervous. Thought all sorts of things. I thought, well, what if I'm filming and someone who recognizes me walks by and interrupts me? What if someone comes by and just steals the camera and the tripod? What if someone walks by and doesn't like that they're being filmed? They come over and try to start something, comes over, what the F you doing, man? Why you got that camera? What if people start laughing at me? All these worries. I don't really care what people think, but it's just worries. It's just anxieties that come when you're trying to step outside the box, when you're trying to do something that you've never done before. At least for me, oftentimes my mind will just create anxieties that are just so irrelevant, but it tries to rationalize, it tries to just think of all the worst things that can happen. Right, it just gets you nervous. That's what happens with me, at least. So, ladies and gentlemen, that's what happened. But I set up, I focused mostly on the food and the camera, and the first review went by. Now, yes, I was a bit nervous in that review. Then came the second review for Chipotle, about a week later. Chipotle is someplace I've heard of. I've never been to before. Chipotle was started in 1993, or as I jokingly said, 2013, or 2013. Started in 1993 in Denver, Colorado. Well, I said it was started in Seattle in 2013, but that's kind of just a very, very, very subtle, dry humor joke to kind of poke fun at how everyone says Chipotle is the greatest thing in the world. To make it seem like it just started out, 2 years ago and it became such a big thing, like overnight. But no, it has a longer history than that, my friends. But I went to Chipotle, and people would always go on about Chipotle. I mean, they would just go on and on and on about Chipotle. I love Chipotle, it's so good. Gotta try this, best Mexican food you ever have. And, I tried it. There's some controversy, some criticism, because I got the tacos. Ooh, tacos. Why didn't you get a burrito bowl? Why didn't you get this or that? Or the 25-pound quesarito or whatever they have there? Well, I didn't know. It's like a complicated menu, really, to me. For a first-time person going there, it's complicated. It's like Subway. That's exactly what it is. It's like a higher-quality Subway from Mexican food, where they give you full creative control for the most part. Not like you go there and say, they have the menu board and they have like a number 1 and a number 2 and this and that. And you say, I want a number 1, no cheese. No, it's not how it works at Chipotle. You make the order. There's no standardized, there's some, but no real standardized menu. Right. So it's difficult to coordinate what do the people want. So some people said, come on, you got tacos, really? Well, yeah, I never had anything from there before, and I really wanted to try their steak, or their cubed beef, if you want to call it that. But I know people love their Chipotle, so, and it's not bad either, so I can't really say too much. But I really wanted to try what the steak tasted like, just get a little general sense of some of the ingredients and all, and that's that. And that's what I did. So, we did that. Okay? we got it. We reviewed it. I set up in another location. This one is a little more secluded than the last, and I felt a bit more comfortable there. There was, though, when I was about to film, there was no one there. I was about to turn on the camera. Then this guy walks by and sits at the table behind me. And he's just going on the phone. And I mean, he's just... And no offense to any of these individuals, but, you know, he's like one of those inner city guys who uses the F word as like every other word in their vocabulary. So he's having this extremely vulgar phone conversation. No, F that, no, I'm an F-er. Just going on and on. He was really giving someone a talking to, I'll tell you that right now. I really would feel bad to be that person on the receiving end of his phone call, because he was giving them the treatment for sure. But I said, you know what? Food's going to get cold. Who knows how long he's going to be there for. Ignore him. Start filming. It'll be alright. That's what he did. Start filming. He got up and left eventually. And I think it was a successful video. So expect more of those in the future. More to come. And, you know, any requests we'll happily take. Going to try to review sneak peek for those of you who've suffered through, let's see, 31 minutes now of VORW time. Sneak peek, chances are I'll be reviewing next at the public setting, if they have it out. I'm going to review the Halloween-themed A1 burger from Burger King with the black bun. So that's going to be reviewed. A1 Whopper, I think. That'll be reviewed next. Expect the new Taco Bell Quesarito to be reviewed as well. That might be up already before this is. And expect that new dessert from Domino's to be reviewed as well. Okay? Okay. So, expect more reviews to come. Comments we're going to be talking about briefly next. And finally, I believe, on the topic of comments, very briefly, just going to touch on this. We just took the vote, you know, on it. We did. I really, and I might talk about this a little more later, we'll see, but we took a vote on the comments because I wanted to see where things stood. I wanted to see what the people wanted, really. Okay, I wanted to see what did the people want to see with comments. What do they want to see done with it? I knew there was some opposition. I didn't know how great the support was either, how many people would participate. So, I took the vote. Massive turnout, way higher than I expected. And with that being said, with the high turnout, we're able to get a clear gauge of who wanted what, how many people wanted what, and it was clear people wanted the comments. So now I'm just starting to unblock comments on every video. So I'm starting to get there. Thanks for listening. This is VORW, the Voice Report of the Week. The mailbag segment is next. And this is VORW, the Voice Report of the Week. This is the mailbag program where we read and respond to your letters and messages. It's where we get to interact directly with you, the listener and the viewer. If you want to get in contact with us, send us your comments, questions, or any statements you'd like to make to us directly via YouTube. Simply send me a message via YouTube, via the YouTube messaging system. If you don't want to use YouTube, send me an email at repweekinterview1, that's no spaces there, repweekinterview1 at gmail.com, or you can also email me at vorwinfo@gmail.com, that's vorwinfo@gmail.com. We have a question for you all, and we'd like to get your responses, and that's going to be the question for this show, okay? This is going to be really the question for this show, okay? It's a hypothetical one, and I'd be interested to see what your answer would be, alright? What would you do if you couldn't use the internet for a month? Alright? And that's my question. What would you do if you couldn't use the internet for a month? Assuming you couldn't use it. Perhaps it just wasn't there. You couldn't use it. You couldn't connect to it. Just was not there. You couldn't use it. How would you fill that time? What would you do instead? It's just an interesting little question I thought of, and we'll see. But what would you do if you couldn't use the internet for a month? How would you be in a padded room after a few weeks? Would you listen to the shortwave? Would you write, or read, or paint, or sleep, eat? You know, things went back to how they used to be with no internet for just a month. What would you do? So, that's my question. Interesting to hear your responses. Please send your responses to me via YouTube. Again, message me via YouTube or email me at repweekinterview1@gmail.com or vorwinfo@gmail.com. And from there, we'll read and respond to your responses on the next VORW show, VORW Show 102. Now the mailbag segment. So this is the Mailbag Show, the Mailbag program on VORW, the voice of the Report of the Week. Starting off, hey John, congrats on 100 episodes of VORW. Sorry that it's late. My girlfriend was visiting from America last month, so I didn't have a chance to watch much YouTube at all, let alone hour-long podcasts. Sorry about that. I missed a few VORWs, but I do remember the last ones, or one of the last ones I watched. The question was, where have you been abroad, or something like that. Well, I've been abroad 3 times. I went to Rome in 2007 with my parents, Kefalonia, a Greek island, in 2011 with my sister, and Sorrento, an area of Italy, in 2012 with my parents. I've been following your channel for about a year. I found out about you when this Facebook page called Creme de la Meme posted a photo of you. I decided to look you up, and after watching a couple of videos, I found your stuff to be pretty enjoyable. Keep up the good work. I hope many more videos, especially the VORWs, will be in the future. From Josh. Well, thank you, Josh. Thank you for writing, sir. And, I think that's pretty neat. You were going traveling like that. Nice European travel, you know? Rome is... I've never been to Europe, but I hear that's nice. And Greece, of course. They're going through the migrant crisis now, but, you know, still probably a beautiful place. Have a good shortwave station, the voice of Greece, on 9,420 kilohertz. Greek service all day. Playing that Greek music. Thank you for writing again, and that's no problem at all. Review Bra. Thank you so much for linking my blot video in VORW Part 2. It means a lot that you did that. Thank you. Thank you. That was a nice video, and I liked it a lot, and I thought that was nice. Hello, Review Bra. This is from a familiar face, a regular writer here. I just finished watching both Part 1 and Part 2 of Episode 100 of VORW. I gotta say, I think that you had so many people sending in I think it's great that you had so many people sending in fan mail and fan art to you in celebration of your 100th episode. Such a fantastic episode to listen to. And I must say, I was pleased to have you answer my mail in it. What an honor. Laughs. That's in bold. You didn't give us any question this week, and I understand why. However, I'm going to pretend that you did, and I'm responding to that instead. Review Bra. What things do you do that aren't as popular as they used to be? Oh, Review Bra, I'm glad you asked. I recently picked/restored up a turntable/stereo system from an antique shop that was closing down for $20. I'd been meaning to go into it for years. However, it was never open when I was there. I was helping my sister move house, and we took a break for lunch. And immediately had my eyes drawn to this system here. And he posts a photo of it. That's a pretty nice one. Which I promptly bought. I took it home, restored it, and that works wonderfully. I listen to it almost daily. Thank you for reading. That's pretty neat. I hope you don't mind. I'll post a picture just briefly, in the VORW. But wow, that's a nice one. Antique. Looks nice, restored. Good working condition. I think that's pretty cool. $20, you can't beat that. Okay. Sup, Review Bra. I discovered your channel through the infamous Domino's Pizza review. Was first uploaded, and I've been a fan ever since. I watch every Running on Empty episode as well as VOW programs. I don't really have a huge interest in energy drinks, so I haven't watched all the Energy Crisis episodes. Funny that your channel originally pertains solely to energy drinks. Anyway, I'm writing not only to praise your work, but I'd also like to see done with some of the Patreon money. There's a saying that goes along the lines of, you eat with your eyes first. Basically what I mean is that if you see a delectable looking food in front of you, you will probably enjoy eating it a little more. If you took the same food and smashed it up, the taste would be the same, but it would be much less appealing and or enjoyable. Although us viewers will not personally be eating the food that you consume during the reviews, simply being able to see it in a higher quality would greatly enhance our viewing experience, in my opinion. So by now I'm guessing you know where I'm going with this. I think it's time you upgrade your camera to a model that can film in HD, or fix the one that always shuts off while filming. I think the money from Patreon would be a great way to do this. An HD camera would totally take your channel to the next level, brah. Sorry if this is getting too long, I'd just like to say a couple more things. Don't quote me on this. But I think sometime around the summer of 2014, a viewer wrote in and said how awesome it would be if you appeared on camera without styling your hair and wearing casual clothes. I believe you responded by saying that you would think about doing it when autumn comes around the time public school starts back up or something to cheer people up. Still think about that every so often. I'd like to say that very much. It would be quite effective in cheering many people up, including myself. I'll leave you with one final question now. I know the ins and outs of your opinion on men's fashion, as you've talked about it in depth on various occasions. From watching your average day videos, quite horrific to watch, if I may add. I have a very particular routine when it comes to styling the hair as well. However, I'm not sure how strong your opinion is on hairstyles. Would you ever consider changing your hairstyle? What do you think about other popular hairstyles these days and from the past as well? Sorry if I wasted your time with this relatively long message. You didn't, but I surely hope that you could reply, and feel free to read any part of this in the next VORW mailbag segment. Keep up the great work. Your fan, Ben. And thank you, Ben. Thank you for writing. Of course, always thank you. First off of the camera. Yes, people have suggested that I upgrade a camera or invest something, get a new one, fix the old one, or the one that shuts off, and get the channel in HD. What I'm thinking I'm going to do, Ben, alright, hear me out on this. You know how with the comments I took a vote, a popular vote, to kind of see what the people want. And I think the results just spoke for themselves, and now I'm actually in the process of putting up comments on every video. Alright, I'm actually in the process of doing that. So this wall of blocked comments is being torn down right now as we speak. So I'm doing that. Number 2, okay, is I want to see what people think of the camera. Because I think it's going to be a much bigger split. Okay? Because, yeah, you have, if the comments, you have people here and there saying that, we don't want comments, but it's a few. And then you have that Ryan guy. You'll see him in the comments every single video. This Ryan Burnham guy who posts in every single video saying, take the comments down. He makes himself heard. By darn it, he does. But otherwise, not too much opposition. With the camera, however, there will be. A lot of people, like yourself, as you said, that's a great analogy you made, sir, in regards with appearance of the food, to make it look more, delectable, if you will. Right? I mean, the camera I'm using is about 10 years old now. Not HD. It's from a near bygone era. Just a few holdouts here and there. A camera used in the days back when YouTube would always have those weird songs, that they would play, whatever, from what was that group, 009 Sound System or something? being like every or you know what I'm talking about. I forget the names of these songs. I'm failing miserably at this, but this is from those days when YouTube, when there was always those iconic, like playlists of like 5 songs that everyone used in their videos. All of that. Let the bodies hit the floor or something. One of those songs from those days. Probably YouTube of 2007, right? And that era has gone, and it's gone for good. Now we're in the age of smartphones and HD. And we're still holding out, kind of. We're still a holdout. Probably one of the last big holdouts in that realm. I'll see. I might take a vote, because people say, no, the camera is part of the channel, and I like it. I like this camera. I like the quality. It adds to the channel a lot. Other people say we want to see an HD camera. So, I think in the end I'm going to put it down to a vote. I think it's going to be like the presidential election of the Report of the Week channel, where it's going to be close. I think it's going to be a close one. I think. Maybe I'm wrong, but I think there's definitely going to be a significant number of supporters and opponents. So I think putting it to a vote would be the best bet, and just see what they want, right? But we'll see. But yeah, it's something that has come to mind. Let's see what else we got here. Hairstyles. I have no intentions of changing my hairstyle whatsoever. I mean, yes, even since I parted my hair in 2011, began doing this hairstyle, men's slicked hair has really gone into fashion by storm since then. Starting probably in like 2013 or so, everyone started getting the hair parted, I see, when I do go out, I see all these college-age, guys. Usually it's a different variant of mine, but it usually has the sides and back shaved off almost, very, very short. Got a part shaved in, and then very short on the top and kind of like slicked back or to the side. Seems to be a real big hairstyle nowadays. I see countless guys in like their 20s with that hairstyle. Whereas, with myself, while I do have a part, it's a much more older and formal variant. I have almost I'd say an early 1900s part in my hair, where it's a lot closer to the middle than it is to the side. It's more of like a middle part, and almost never see that type of part anymore. But it's there. I got it. So that's that. Thank you for your nice message, Ben. Next up, greetings, Report of the Week. Any chance that you can do a Chipotle review? Yep, done. Greetings. Love your channel and food reviews. A request would be to review the new McDonald's buttermilk chicken sandwich. Done. Hey, review bro. Thanks to a year of listening to VORWs, I was able to catch a reference to Voice of America, so thank you for that. Oh yes, no, absolutely. I listen to the Voice of America all the time. I do. All the time, my friend. You mentioned before you like NASCAR and racing. So do you have a favorite car that you would like to own? A pristine, stock, first-generation Toyota MR2 would be my dream car. And as always, thanks for all the content. Well, thank you. Not a big car guy. I just like the racing cars, but it would be probably some classic car. It would have to be in pristine condition, though. It wouldn't be able to be like one of those rusted out jalopies that you see, sitting in tall grass in someone's front yard. Couldn't be one of those. It'd have to be a nice, maybe any car, probably from the 50s, 60s, 70s, and maybe even part of the 80s. After that, the design of cars just kind of dropped off, I think, in my opinion. From 1990 onwards, the design of cars just kind of, I don't like, I like how they were almost more boxier back in the day, I do. Nowadays, it's just, You know, just not a fan of the design. Not a fan of how everything's more rounded out and everything. You know, just trying to save materials, I imagine. Make them weaker so you can crash it and buy another one. Or, you know, all that. Hey, dude. Saw you posted some stuff on the B9 board. You listen to hardcore as well. Well, for those of you who don't know what the B9 is, it's a forum for heavy metal music, I think. And back in 2013, they had a thread going about me. So, in 2013, I made an account there, and I did a little Q&A on the B9. And I did that through 2013, probably until mid-2013, and I just stopped posting there. I don't know what you're saying, because I didn't post there since then. Okay, I don't know if someone posted as me, it's an impersonator, or maybe someone hacked the account, I don't know. But I imagine if you're looking at old posts, I don't go there anymore. I haven't been there in almost, not quite 3 years, but almost 2.5, at least. So I don't know. I guess you're looking at the old post. No, I'm not really into hardcore at all. There's an interesting sounding metal tune I heard on Radio Romania the other day. That was okay, but that was about it. On to the next. Hi, John. Wanted to answer a question about the comments section. Want to give a more specific answer than the poll you posted allowed me to. I think that the most important thing about comments is whether or not you're okay with them. If they make you more unhappy than happy, take them down. If they make you more happy than unhappy, keep them up. If you're completely neutral about it, rely on the results of the poll. Hope all is well. I'm a big fan of your channel, and it's the only YouTube channel I pay any real attention to. Well, thank you. Another regular writer. Thanks for writing. Yeah, I just kind of... Comments, I'm pretty desensitized to them. So, I haven't... I just kind of went by the results on the poll. That's what I did for the most part. I had more of a neutral opinion than anything else. Just like you said. So, it's kind of what I was thinking. Thank you. What kind of music do you like the most? I see you have a music playlist on your channel, and a lot of my favorite songs are on there. So I was wondering if this playlist is indicative of your music taste. It is indeed. It is indeed. The genres which I like the most are 90s. Any music, really, from the 90s. Especially rock, punk, grunge, alternative, all that. My favorite right there from the 90s. Especially late 90s. Like all the music, really, from the early 2000s. Then music from the mid-2000s, I'd say probably from 2005 until 2009 was okay. And then for the most part, 2009 up is crap. That's a very, very mild word. Very, very mild and an underplayed word to describe the music today. Alright. I'd add a few more adjectives in front of that and change that word up if I really wanted to be brutally honest with what I think. 80s music I like too, for the most part. A lot of good 80s songs. Then 70s, there's a few good ones. 60s, of course, you have all the classics, Then you have the real classic bands, of course, the Beatles, Rolling Stones, all those iconic groups that you gotta give credit to, and I like. And then 50s is when it kind of drops off, Some of the old school rock and roll music is okay, but that's when it really drops off. Not really a fan of 50s music. I mean, maybe late 50s. Some of it, but who knows, but... And then, the big band music is nice, but, and classical too. But, right now, really, that playlist is very indicative of my music taste at present. This individual writes me another message as well, right after. She says, also, thank you for the fashion advice. I managed to find some really nice deals on older style clothing items in local thrift shops, and I agree with your views on newer styles, the super thin lapels that might as well just not be there, especially bother me. I couldn't agree more. That's very true, and thrift stores, honestly, don't be scared of them. You can find some great clothing there for great deals. Hey, love your videos. Always give your YouTube channel a quick search when I see something new on a menu before I try it out. You haven't let me down yet with your reviews. They're quick and accurate to the real-world product I experience. I would like to see the Italian beef sandwich review. My mates live in Chicago and rave on about this being nothing like I've ever tasted before. If you have any near you, I'd really appreciate a review before I make my purchase. Thanks again, CDD Fox. Eye for an eye makes the whole world go blind. In quotes. I have to look. I mean, there's a lot of Italian beef sandwiches out there, but I mean, if that is that from like, I have to see who makes that. I don't know if they're around here or not, but we'll see. Hey, review, bro. I heard McDonald's is doing all-day breakfast soon. Maybe you could review some breakfast items. Maybe. I may very well do that. We'll have to see. I can now get to McDonald's thanks to my daytime trips. Hello, Report of the Week. I have listened to and watched all your material on YouTube since before you even started making the VORW, so I feel guilty for not giving you some props yet. So I made an email account just for you, for this moment, haha. You've come very far, man. It's nice to go back and watch your old videos just to see how much you've grown and matured. I have a thought. I know you've done reviews of drinks that give you energy, obviously, but I was wondering if you'd be willing to do a review of a drink that is actually supposed to relax you. It's called Marley's Mellow Mood. This is what it looks like. It's, it's supposed to be after Bob Marley. And, I drink one of these once in a while after a long day, and I gotta say, it really does relax you, and it is quite tasty as well. Be interesting to see how you enjoy it. I don't see them being sold in many places, but I know every 7-Eleven has them in stock. Okay, I see it. Also, can I get one of the famous Review Brush shoutouts? That'd be amazing. My name is... No, you're not going to get a shoutout with that name. If that is your real name, I pity you, to be honest. But if you thought I was that stupid to say something that vulgar on the air, you thought wrong. I know sometimes on these shows I won't be the cleanest person myself, but I'm not willing to degrade myself to that regard. So, with all respect, sir, I have some dignity. And assuming the rest of your message you didn't just write and make up on the spot to try to get me to write that or to shout out that name, so I can make a fool out of myself, well, thank you for that. If you did, well, you got nothing out of it and I just wasted your time. But I'm not willing to say something that vulgar on the air. When I at least record these shows, I have at least a shred of dignity. Hello, Report of the Week. Just wanted to express my thanks for your VORWs. I too have a very odd sleep schedule and work night shifts, so it can be isolating and lonely at times. I've gone days at a time without interacting with anyone else. Your VORWs have kept me company through many long nights, and the consistent quality of these shows rival even the biggest podcasts. The following is just my opinion. Hearing you opine about life is more captivating than a 3-hour gab fest about how an MMA fighter saw some cool shapes on psychedelics, etc. Your whole channel is great, but the VORWs in particular are outstanding. Thanks again. All the best. Thank you. And I'm glad the VORW shows can be there and, can keep you company on those long nights. Thank you. Just wanted to say thank you. I'm so glad I found your channel. You have a very calming voice. I often turn on your VORW videos to listen to as I go about my daily business. Thank you for being so fantastic. I commend you on your dedication to your show. From Alexandria. Well, thank you for writing. Hi, Report of the Week. I recently saw your review of Planet Wings and was compelled to put pen to tablet. This happened. Thank you so much for making such great videos. My sister is a huge fan. It's gonna, that is the art for today's show. As you can see, there I am. Tears streaming down my face. In utter misery. Utter misery. You can see the flames of the hot wings just engulfing me. So there it is. And that is the drawing for this broadcast. Thank you for your work. Review. You are a champion of review entertainment. Truly changed the craft for all involved. Please make more videos. Yours sincerely. Absolutely, more videos are a-coming. And finally, dear Mr. Report of the Week, bleh. I was unable to get you a message for your 100th VORW. Congrats, it's been a great series, and I truly enjoy listening. I have a few questions that I'd like to ask. Has Damn Drops ever asked you to be part of his team? Damn. I just wonder, because I hope you don't ever consider. His reviews are annoying, and I have a hard time understanding his speech and phrases. No, I've never been invited, and I always kind of have a problem kind of signing myself away to a bigger party like that. Because then you're not you anymore. You do what they want you to do. If over at Team Damn, they say, hey, review bra, like the suits and all, but they're not getting you enough views. You gotta ditch them. I wouldn't really... I don't like that. I don't. I really just like being able to do what I want to do with my channel. Have you ever seen that new reviewer, Chris Eats? He seems like an odd guy. I noticed he commented on one of your reviews, and one of Joey World Tours also. What is your take on the way he reviews? Can't imagine you would approve. Last question, what are your top three YouTube channels? Thank you for your time. Alright, more to contribute to your show. Best regards from Alan. Well, let me see this Chris Eats guy. Gotta search through this. I wanna see this now. Chris! No, you gotta have an I in Chris. Hold on. C-H-R-I-S. No. Maybe I can't find him, but I remember seeing those comments of his. I remember those. I do. He used to have a ton of dots in them. I'm pretty sure we're talking about the same guy here. I'm pretty sure. Pretty sure we are. It's gonna kill some time here, but I want to kind of look at this guy, because I remember this. Remember this. I think he posted on the last video. But this guy, I remember that. Chris Eats. He was posting on a few. Let me see this here. Let me find him. Is this him? This him? Let me see this. Who knows? We'll find him some other day and go on. And that'll be that then. But let me just CHRISEANTS. There's gonna be a lot of Chris Eats. Well, we'll get to it some other day. We'll figure it out. Well, that's all we have in the way of messages, I believe. Let me just check real quick. Dear Mr. Report of the Week, you may recall a frequent correspondent by the name of C.P. King from over Here we go. Well, I've returned to write you once more. Hope you're keeping well. Congratulations on the 100th VORW, and hopefully there will be many more brilliant and dynamic videos to come. I've been off the grid for a while due to my return to college education in Ireland. Last year I was a dropout and had much more time to indulge myself in these trivial, yet oddly enjoyable affairs. I'll try to keep up these letters. Yours, C.P. King. Yes, I do recall you, Mr. King. You were a very frequent writer from back in the day, and, certainly remember. Certainly do. I do. So thank you for being back, for checking in, and I wish you the best of luck in your higher education endeavors. Spam advertisement. Someone advertising their channel? No. No. Okay, here we go. Review suggestion. Now we're checking out the email. First, I want to say I'm a huge fan of your reviews. Keep them up. I'm emailing you to make a suggestion for a possible food review. I really like clam chowder, but I don't know what opinions there are and the quality of the clams. Do you know if there are any store-bought clam chowders that have the taste of fresh clam chowder? Thanks, your number one fan. Well, we'll see. Clam chowder. I didn't expect that. I didn't at all. But we shall see. This guy wants me to review poutine. Maybe upstate New York you'd be able to get it? Let me see also. Hey man, been a subscriber to your account for I'd say about 2 years. I always want to tell me your favorite type of suits. You have an expensive... You an expensive Burberry type of man, maybe just a simple Calvin Klein type of guy. Thanks for the Great Report of the Week podcast, and hope to see another 100 episodes to come. From your fan, Eric. I don't really have a specific brand. I just like, the big names from the 90s, really. Armani. That was a great brand from the 1990s. I mean, that was like the pinnacle of suits from back then, Armani suits from the 90s. Those were something else, alright. Hi there, VORW. Hope this email landed in the right box. It did. I'm a relatively new fan. I'm listening to your entire backlog of VORWs and loving it. Let me just see who's calling here, ladies and gentlemen. I'm the person manning the house today, so I gotta see. Who's that? Never heard of that name before. Forget it. Forget it. You can keep calling all you want. I'm not answering that. I'm listening to your entire backlog of VORW and loving it. A lot of people have said that it relaxes them before bed. I find the opposite true of myself. I get enthusiastic and enjoy a broad array of topics. I am, of course, also a huge fan of your food and drink reviews. I've made a few goofy YouTube videos, and I got lucky with one that went viral. Your videos are an inspiration to me, and I wanted to show my appreciation. I do plan on supporting you via your Patreon program, which is a brilliant idea. I do a radio show online, and was really hoping you could say a little bit for me. My DJ name is Wobbleburger. Could you say something like that? Oh, yeah, sure. This is the voice of Report of the Week, and you're listening to Wobbleburger. It is what it is. He also writes, of course, you can do whatever you want as you're the king. Anyways, just wanted to say that I love your reviews, lectures, and fashion sense. Also, I was the guy that did the Photoshop of yourself like Steve Buscemi. Butchered the name from Boardwalk Empire. Hope you enjoyed the art. Thanks again. Keep up the great work. Comments or not, I'll watch and enjoy your videos until you stop making them. Cheers, and best to you and yours. Ryan Wobbleburger from Austin, Texas. Thank you. Thank you. And this guy just wanted to know why review only brand name products. I review brand name products exclusively for the sole purpose, okay? I review it just for the sole purpose, okay, of I want people to be able to relate to it, okay? If I reviewed Big Daddy's Pizza on Main Street, right? Great, you know. The two people who maybe live within an area to get there, and perhaps maybe the dozen people who might be in the area in the next month might make use of it. But the hundreds, if not thousands, of other people are just going to say, oh, great, Big Daddy's Pizza looks nice. I'm never going to go there, but it looks nice. If I review something, though, from, Burger King, let's say I review their Halloween burger, which I will be probably tomorrow. Oh, there's a Burger King a few blocks away. And I saw an advertisement for their Halloween burger on TV. Now I know that it tastes good. I think I might be able to get that. Anyone could say that. From someone in the streets of Manhattan to someone in just a town in the middle of Oklahoma. I want it to be relatable to as many people as possible. And that's why I review big brands, okay? Because if I didn't, it might be neat to see, but it wouldn't be really helpful to all that many people. So that's why I do that. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. That's all we have for today. This is VORW, the Voice of the Report of the Week, and this concludes our mailbag segment. All right, ladies and gentlemen, well, that wraps up things. Again, just to remind you, the question for this show is, what would you do if you couldn't use the internet for a month? So, interested to hear your responses. Interested? I'm interested. Again, contact us. Message me via YouTube or email repweekinterview1@gmail.com. That's repweekinterview1@gmail.com or vorwinfo@gmail.com. Well, that's all we got. Thank you all for writing. If I missed your message, just resend it to me. Let me know kindly that it was missed, and we'll get it taken care of in the next show. So, thank you so much. Thank you so very much for listening. This is VORW, the Voice Report of the Week. Hope you have a great day, a great week. And we'll catch you later. We'll catch you soon. We'll get another VORW up in due time for you all. Until then, my friends, enjoy the food reviews and the energy drink review and anything else that comes your way from this channel. Until then, my friends, take care. All the best. We'll see you later. Goodbye. This is the Voice of the Report of the Week, signing off.